Hello, everyone. Welcome to the BX Sports GI Network. I am Austin, and today in this video, I wanted to cover Sean Strickland and Dricus du Plessis, the rematch, and also give my thoughts on the first fight, considering it was appropriate considering this weekend these two are about to have their rematch at UFC 312. Great fight. I'm excited for that fight, even though the rest of that pay per view 312 is pretty terrible. It's a bad pay per view, to be honest with you. Everyone's complaining about it, rightfully so. I look at it and go, man, that is terrible for the people of Australia. They gotta go see that whole card live. Even though the main event and co-main events are pretty good, especially that main event. But yeah, I just want to give my thoughts. Haven't done a video in a while, so I just want to do that. And especially since I decided to rewatch the first fight because obviously UFC's uploaded the first fight for free because of the fact that although I have ESPN Plus, but still, it was when they upload on YouTube. I say, you know what, let me watch the first fight and then talk about, get my thoughts and then break down this rematch because I feel like it'd be appropriate for me to watch the first fight again before and give my thoughts before breaking down the second fight. I feel like I have a better understanding of what to expect for the second fight. Somewhat, obviously, MMA is unpredictable. Who knows? Both guys may implement new game plans, something new we've never seen before. Potentially, it is possible, but still, you never. But still, I think watching it, a previous fight can help you break down a rematch of a fight. But anyway, the first fight when I did the live stream back in January of last year, I think I had Strickland winning if I remember correctly 3 rounds to 2. I said I thought it was so close that I didn't mind if they gave it to Dricus. It was either that or I don't know how to score the fight, so I'm cool either way. With the judge's decision. I had like one of those two opinions, if I remember correctly, from when I did that live stream back in last year. And the reason why I've been doing live streams is because I'm always working Saturdays, and when I get out like 11:30, so I can't do the pay per view live streams. By the time I get at home, it's like to watch the pay per views. It's like freaking. It's like freaking 11:30 and like two fights already happened, and it's like, do I really do a live stream just for like cover 2 or 3 fights? That's I'm in that dilemma right now, so that's why I haven't been doing many live streams I used to. Just want to clear out real quick. But yeah, the first fight. After watching the first fight, I think we all can agree. Round 1 was clearly Strickland's. Round 5 was clearly Strickland's. Round 4 was clearly Dricus du Plessis. And and I think round 2 was Dricus du Plessis. Even though I've heard arguments for Strickland by Bedtime MMA, who's a YouTuber. For those of you who don't know, if you're really into MMA space, MMA YouTube, you do know who Bedtime MMA is. But he thought Strickland won round 2, and watching round 2, I can see why someone might give round 2 to Strickland, but I can't do that. I think DDP won because first of all, the strikes landed was very close watching the round, and the damage was similar. I think Dricus du Plessis would gain the takedown in that fight in that round, and like having like a little bit more forward pressure, a little bit more, especially with the damage being equal to. Gotta mention that because damage and impacts like what they look for in like judging criteria, like who had the biggest impact of the fight. But with the impact of both guys being similar, I think Dricus getting that takedown along with his pressure, most of the takedown to me gave him that second round. I mean, yeah, that second round. The third round, however, watching that, I gotta go with Strickland. First of all, I honestly don't see how you give round 3 to Dricus du Plessis. Watching that third round, considering both guys landed similar amount of strikes, Strickland might land a few more. Matter of fact, I have it pulled up. Let me pull it on the screen for you guys to see. It is from the UFC. Like this is from like the UFC website, by the way. These stats. Even though I understand people argue that the UFC like striking stats can be very inaccurate. Sometimes they give guys credit for more strikes than they should or don't count for certain strikes. And that's a fair point. But I remember round 3 was very close. Like watching like the strikes they actually landed. Yeah, according to UFC website, Strickland landed 2 more strikes and was 1% more accurate compared to Dricus du Plessis. And I feel like Strickland's Strickland did a little bit more damage in their round than Dricus du Plessis, especially the final second. If you go back and watch, like the last like 3 seconds of that round, really last two, Strickland lands a big left that rocks Dricus du Plessis as the bell as the bell sounds. Then that third round, and when you take that account and see the damage Sean Strickland was landing, especially the Dricus is like eye, like especially like underneath this part, you see like a welt building up in that underneath his right eye. And even his left, like if you remember, his left eye was visibly damaged. When you take that consideration, I don't see how you can give round three to Dricus du Plessis. Yes, Dricus du Plessis has moments, but Sean Strickland had just as many good moments, if not a little bit more. He had to me way more damaging moments in that round, and landed, and especially that big left definitely still that round, especially when rounds that close and you're kind of like and you don't know who's doing more. If a guy lands a big shot to end the round, you kind of have to give it to that guy who landed the big shot. That's what Sean Strickland did. And I implore everyone, please rewatch that fight without the commentary to influence you. You go up and watch it. It's kind of hard to argue against Strickland getting the third round. And matter of fact, I think if I remember, one judge gave round three to Strickland. If I have it right here, oh no, this is the media score. Never mind. This is what the media scored the fight. As you see, a lot, it was very divided among the media. I thought I uploaded like this judges scorecard, like who they thought won each round. I guess I didn't. My bad. I thought I did, but yeah, one judge gave round three to Strickland. The other two gave it to Dricus du Plessis, and that was the difference in the fight in terms of who won the title that night. And Strickland and yeah, I thought Strickland won. I think people are acting like, oh, Dricus clearly won 2, 3, and 4. I think part of that because people don't like Strickland because of his personality, because they feel he's a hypocrite. They feel like he's just annoying, and they don't like his fight style. How Strickland will talk a big game. We're gonna go to war. We're gonna bleed for you guys, and then he throws a bunch of jabs and teep kicks. People find that very annoying, rightfully so. I understand that, but still. I think if you take out your biases against Strickland and your biases for DDP, because a lot of Dricus du Plessis has become a fan favorite because of his personality, and people like his fight style. People have grown to appreciate his fight style. It is goofy as fuck. Objectively, if you just watch that, you just watch and compare like other fighters, it is very goofy. It looks very sloppy, but he wins. I mean, the guy is on a believe like a 10-fight win streak or something like that in his MMA career. If my memory serves me correct. I don't know. I was trying to think there. But anyway, besides the point, he's on a long win streak. We'll just say like that. And Dricus du Plessis has managed to make his style to work, and people have grown to appreciate the style and his personality. He's like a cool stand-up guy. He's got a good personality, and plus, people were very on his side, especially during his feud of Israel Adesanya, where people didn't like how Israel was, selling the fight, or how he was handling that situation. Dricus du Plessis, people, a lot of people thought, including myself, that Israel was being very racial with his attacks towards Dricus, and people enjoyed Dricus responded and rallied a lot of people towards him. But yeah, I get why people like Dricus. I'm a Dricus fan too. But I think people are allowing their bias towards Dricus and their bias against Strickland to misremember that fight. They can Dricus clearly dominated Strickland, clearly won that fight unquestionably, when that's not the case. If they go back and actually watch that fight, it was a lot closer than people are giving credit for. It's the reason why a lot of people thought Strickland clearly won. And for a while, a lot of people switched their opinions. Well, I should say some people switched their opinions, but the people who were pro Strickland just kept quiet, as people were loud for DDP or saying, "Oh, DDP clearly dominated Strickland, clearly won." What are people talking about? It's not the case at all. If you actually watch that fight, it's hard. I don't know how you can give round 3 to Dricus du Plessis. I really don't understand that. Yeah, Strickland clearly won runs round 3 and 5. I don't see how you give round 3 to Dricus du Plessis at all. But you watch that fight again. But let me talk about this upcoming fight, this upcoming weekend with Dricus du Plessis and Sean Strickland in Australia. Ironically enough, considering Dricus du Plessis' last fight, his first title defense was in Australia, and Sean Strickland won the belt in Australia, both against Israel Adesanya, ironically enough. So they're both going back to a place where they've had success in for championship fights. Dricus du Plessis, I'm pretty sure is the favorite. I don't remember. I haven't checked the odds, but I'm pretty sure he's the favorite. I don't think he's a big favorite if I remember, but still, like I said, take that with your own advice. No bet. I'm not giving betting advice. I don't do that just because I don't want to deal with that nonsense. You cost me my money, my parlay, whatever. I just don't want to deal with that. But anyway, this fight, I think people are. I don't know why everyone's acting like Dricus du Plessis is just gonna destroy Strickland with ease and just destroy him like that, or just do whatever he wants to him. I see people are saying, "Oh, Dricus by whatever he wants, by submission, by knockout." It's like, did you guys not watch the first fight? How close that was? How Sean Strickland gave Dricus du Plessis the toughest fight of his UFC career by a mile? Not even close. Way tougher than even the Israel fight, and that fight was competitive. Even though Dricus du Plessis was up 2 rounds to one, going the fourth round, but still it was a competitive fight. And Israel looked actually very good in that fight. And yeah, and plus it's like people are saying, "Oh, Sean Strickland hasn't changed. He's still the same fighter. What improvements has he made?" I can say the same about Dricus du Plessis. What improvements has he made? He's you can make an argument Dricus du Plessis, like Strickland, are both somewhat the same fighters as they were a year ago when they fought in Canada in January of 2024. Like, you can't really. I mean, there really hasn't been too much of a difference. Both guys only fought once since then. Sean Strickland beating Paulo Costa back in June, and then Dricus du Plessis beat Israel Adesanya in August. And both guys, I really don't see like I don't see like this crazy improvements Dricus du Plessis made. I know people like to say, well, when guys fight in a rematch, usually the guy who won the first fight tends to win. Yeah, but it's not. I understand that, but it's not the case, especially since the first fight was super damn close, and it's not like Strickland has made these like drastic changes to his game that give Strickland problems. People are mentioning, Dricus won the takedowns, but here's the thing: he got 6 takedowns, Dricus du Plessis, in that fight, but he didn't do anything with those takedowns. Nothing. Sean Strickland was able to fight the hands to get up with relative ease. He didn't. It's not like he exerted a lot of energy. It wasn't like he was getting up from takedowns. That wasn't the case. But it really wasn't like. And if my memory serves me correct, he landed 6 takedowns in that fight. And they just pull. I think I have it pulled up here where the stat where it tells you how many takedowns Dricus landed. Yeah, 6. If my memory serves me correct, I think he landed like half of them in the first 2 rounds. Or I could be wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering the fight. I don't know why. I just watched it not that long ago, like recently, like a day ago. Ugh. Well, yeah, like anyway. Besides the point, Dricus did none of those takedowns like at all. Like, Sean Strickland was able to get up with ease and not gas out compared to other guys. Like, when Dricus takes guys down, they usually he usually does damage, either ground and pound, submits them, etc. Like he did with Israel, Derek Brunson, Darren Till. And yeah, with Strickland, he wasn't able to do that like at all. He just got up and not face any consequences. And the thing is, if you're with Dricus du Plessis, if you're gonna, the game plan for this fight maybe to go for more takedowns earlier and try to use that tired Strickland and maybe throw ground and pound or go for submissions. But the problem is, if you're going for ground and pound, especially these big shots like this, or like you try to go for submission, if you move your body around, it might make it easier for Strickland to get up or get on top of you. And now he's on top position. He can do some damage. Not that we've seen Strickland do it, but still, you don't want to be in that position. If you're Dricus du Plessis, you don't want to, do something crazy, and then next thing you know, you're in bottom position, or you make it easier for him to get up, and next thing you know, Sean still has a lot of energy, which he did in the first fight, but still, you get what I'm saying. You don't want Strickland to have a bunch of energy because you were going for great ground and pound or freaking submission attempt, and you got up quickly. Especially that's going to hurt you as the fight keeps going, because Sean Strickland, we know, can go 5 rounds and be fine. And Dricus, for the most part, can go 5 rounds. He has good cardio, so I do want to mention that as well. But with this fight, I think Sean Strickland's Coach Eric Nixon, mentioned that Strickland is working. They are drilling like certain things to do because he feels like that will cost him the first fight, and that he's already told Strickland, and that he's already like drilling them in, and that's where having a coach like Eric Nixon helps. Because I do believe having a good coach does matter tremendously. Because even though you can be very talented and skilled, I mean, I can get you maybe to like the UFC and high in the rankings, maybe a championship, but it's gonna be hard for you to reach your potential if you don't have the right coach and lead coach who can harness your skills and help you become that truly elite fighter. And having like Eric Nixon, who's one of the best coaches in MMA, definitely helps tremendously. And Dricus' coach is pretty good too. Mark, I forget his name. I think it's Mark something. Starts with M. I forget his name, but Dricus' coach is good too. I do want to shout out Dricus' coach as well. But I think one thing Strickland should do that he kind of went away from during the first fight was the teep kicks, because he landed a couple of them the first round, landed like one the second round, and then stopped throwing them rounds 3, 4, and 5. Coach Eric Nixon told him he should keep doing that. I think one thing with both guys is that they both can be hit to the body. Imagine they both like to guard their heads and move their head around, especially Strickland. But both guys like to guard their heads. But obviously, like I think both guys to me are susceptible to body shots, and I feel like both guys might try to throw more body shots because Dricus du Plessis did land several body shots, like a good amount of body shots in their first fight. Like not like a ton, but decent amounts where it was like noticeable, if that makes sense. I think you guys can get what I mean by that. But I feel like both guys might try that, especially their styles. And I think personally with Dricus du Plessis, he tends to like goof his way. I don't want to say goof his way. What's the term like? Dricus du Plessis tends to, with his goofy style, tends to like overwhelm his opponents. Like if you watch all his UFC fights, he does that. Where it be his first debut against, I think it was Trevin Giles, he beat in his debut, or some of his other opponents. Like I forget, it was Trevin Giles, I believe he fought. Then he fought some other guy. Then he fought Brad Tavares, and he didn't finish Brad Tavares. Still, he kind of dominated that fight. Especially the fight kept going. He just was able to land big shots and I think take him down a couple of times in their fight. And then from there, he just he kind of dominated the fight. And then Darren Till, he lost the second round. He took Till down, was able to submit him. And plus, he had a big first round against Darren Till. Derek Brunson, he was able to take him down and just like beat him up to the point where his coaches threw the towel in before the end of the second round. And then from there, he basically rocked Robert Whitaker and then like finished him. And then of course Israel Adesanya, we know, like I said, fourth round he rocks Israel, takes him down, submits him. Like Strickland, like not Strickland, Dricus du Plessis is able to do that, like goof his way, land a big shot, overwhelm his opponents. But yeah, with Sean Strickland, he was not able to do that. That's like the one guy he's never been able to do that against. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that again. And plus, Sean Strickland, I feel like doesn't need to change that much to be able to beat Dricus du Plessis. It's not like he has to make drastic improvements like everyone claims, like everyone's saying online, or most people are saying online rather. It's like he really doesn't have to. Oops, my bad. As I shake the camera there. He really doesn't have to. All he has to do is make minor improvements and maybe put more output in some of these rounds. And I think he can beat Dricus du Plessis again. I mean, not again, but you can beat him this time officially, in my words, or in my opinion, beat him again, but still officially beat him this time and be 1-1. But I honestly think the more I think about this fight, I think Sean Strickland is going to win the rematch. Cause I think Strickland's had so much time to prepare for Dricus du Plessis and just focus on him. While Dricus du Plessis is, talked about one to Hamza, maybe going up, fighting Pereira. Well, more so Hamza and things like that. He did briefly talk about, Pereira, but mostly want to fight Hamza and stuff, which we all know the winner of this fight is going to fight Hamza next. But I think Sean Strickland is probably going to make him enough improvements and be a little bit more active, and especially if his coaches it mentioned in an interview that they're already drilling stuff for him to do, so that way he can win the fight. That I think that will help him tremendously in the rematch against Dricus du Plessis. I think Dricus is probably going to do well early in these rounds, in the early rounds. But then as the fight keeps going, Strickland's going to be able to figure him out and just not get tired. And as Dricus probably slows down, he will be able to pick apart Dricus and beat him up, and probably beat him to the point where it'd be hard for the judges to give Strickland these rounds. I think Strickland's gonna win the last 3 rounds, kind of like what Marab did against Umar in their fight a month ago, where Umar won the first 2 rounds, but then lost the last 3 rounds clearly. I think that's what's gonna happen. I think DDP probably is gonna win the first 2 rounds, but then slow down. If Strickland has a good gas tank, he's gonna be able to just pick apart DDP and beat him up to the point where DDP is gonna lose the last 3 rounds. Strickland's gonna win, and I think Strickland's gonna regain his belt. I think that's what's gonna happen personally, especially since everyone in MMA community is just like, oh, we're just gonna get through this fight so we get DDP versus Hamzat, which I don't blame them because that is an exciting fight. And if DDP does win, I will definitely be excited for Hamzat and Dricus du Plessis. But when we have like stuff like that where everyone's in unanimous consensus, oh, this fight's gonna happen, oh, like this fight's, this guy's gonna win this fight, then we're gonna get this, then we're gonna get this super fight that we all want to see. When fight fans tend to have that, usually the plans do not go. The plans do not go. The plan does not happen like we want it to. Typically, MMA. You get. I think you guys get what I mean. Like, we expect this fight to happen. We're looking for this fight, but then something derails it. It tends to happen a lot in mixed martial arts, especially in the UFC. I feel like that's going to happen with this fight, where everyone's so looking forward to Dricus and Hamzat and everyone thinks that Dricus is going to just beat Sean Strickland easily. That I think, when stuff like that happens, when people have that mentality, it usually doesn't work out in our favor, or a lot of times doesn't. And I think it's going to be another case here where Sean Strickland's going to, spoil the plans or spoil the dream fight we want, Hamzat and Dricus du Plessis. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you disagree with me. Maybe you don't. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree that Strickland won the first fight, or Dricus du Plessis, and why? And do you think Strickland's gonna beat Sean Strickland in the rematch, or Strickland's gonna win the rematch? Let me know what your thoughts are. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Glad to be doing videos again. I will try to do a review of this fight and just break down what happened. I'll try to do that next week, obviously. Sorry, I'm a little bit rusty with this video. Haven't done a video in a while, and I kind of feel like I'm rusty, but anyway. So my apologies. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Have a good day, good night, every time watching this, and can't wait for this fight. And man, these UFC pay-per-views, man. Oh, UFC 312, so atrocious. What a terrible card that is. Ooh, I feel bad for Australia. But anyway, have a good day, good night. I'll see you next time.